Oh, hello.
Hello there.
Not yet.
Hello there.
I was just enjoying this lovely book.
Yes.
I love this book.
Our book is called Markuslauxjasperlucasfeb25, Scepter of the Ancients.
Would you like to join us?
Yeah, sure.
East Willikers.
Wow. So, I guess I'm in the first chapter. What we're gonna do is we're gonna say the chapter we're gonna read. Then we're gonna read it. Not read it. We're gonna say what it was in the chapter, and we're gonna say our favorite part. And then all at the end we're gonna do our sticky notes. And I believe everybody has read up to the part. Alright. Okay. So great. And we all have at least 5 sticky notes.
Yeah, and lots of above.
I did not read above.
Maybe he did, but whatever.
I did.
Okay, so at the end, I guess we
go
should
through
do
our chapter.
Yes. Okay. So the first chapter in this,
Wait, no, we have to tell them chapter.
Chapter 11, chapter 12, chapter 13. Chapter 15, chapter 14, and 13.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm doing chapter 11, and in chapter 11, basically what happens is they have to break into a bank vault to steal information on the Scepter of the Ancients, so they can actually find out where the Scepter of the Ancient is, so they can steal it before the bad guy, Serpine, can. And so basically they break into this thing called the vault, which we talked about in our last time. And the vault they actually staked it out the previous time, and it's funny. It's curious, like why? It's guarded by vampires, and so they have to try and get past the vampires. And what happens is they drive to up to the bank vault, like the museum, which is where the bank vault is kept. So you have to break in. So basically, they climb up this tree right next to the bank or the museum, and at the top there's skylights that they can actually attach their cord to. So Skullduggery jumps to the other side and he tells her to keep watch on the tree, and she has to attach a cord to one of the skylights so they can actually lower Skullduggery down into like the museum, kind of like James Bond style. And the reason why they have to do that is because the floor is actually pressure sensitive. So if he falls hard on it, he'll set it all off. Yeah. Well, how did he get onto it then?
Because he said he would pass the police.
Oh yeah, no, but that was the alarm for the skylight. So the reason
he went past the pressure
thing.
So
there's a small alarm and it goes connected to the police.
No, that was something else. To attach it to a skylight, because there's a little alarm on the skylight, it will set the police off. He had to, no, it wasn't lost.
Continue.
He had to go, it wasn't lost.
Okay, understand.
It's in my chapter.
Oh my god, Mom.
He had to go by the police station, and he used his like elemental power to make water inside like the generator so that it turned off, and so that the skylight wouldn't be activated when the emergency went off. And then basically what they did is they lowered him into it. He used a button on like his belt or something to lower him into the museum without being detected. And what happened was Stephanie was keeping watch out on the tree, like across from the building, and she couldn't jump. No, she was on a tree. And she was just sitting there being lookout to see if they found anything unusual. But she noticed the cord attached to the skylight was actually starting to slip. So she had to jump across the building. She barely made it just with one hand, and climbed up onto the building and attached another cord to the other cord and wrapped it around the skylight so that it would stay, extra tight. Then Skullduggery came back up because the sudden jolt made him fall a bit, so he came back up to see what was going on. And then he told her that she could go down with him. And so they get down to the museum without being activating the pressure sensitive floor. And they get to a vault with the vault vault where their objective is to go, and they turn a corner and there's a vampire there, or not a vampire yet. It's actually at midnight they morph into vampires, and so
They're vampires before,
yeah, full-fledged vampires,
And
and
they're
so
candy vampires.
yeah, the 10.
oh yeah, they don't burn in sunlight. They just get really weak. And so basically, she watches as the vampire like morphs into this crazy animal with like bone. That's what I'm saying.
Because he just kind of rips off
Exact
his
same thing. Oh my god.
No, but morphine is like,
It doesn't matter.
You go like
yeah, he takes off the skin and stuff, that like the human skin.
It doesn't matter.
Then he's like vampire. It's like,
So distracting.
it matters.
no. And then
No, it's not.
That's it. That's all that happens in the chapter.
Yeah, boxer too.
no, but she said
That's
this
my
quote.
favorite part.
She said this quote about vampires.
That she then
Like how
found
they're
lying upside down in front of the
maybe
mailbox
how they're not like
They're like all like sleek and like they're sexy dudes and stuff. That's what she said.
and then it says
My favorite part of like was probably when she saves Skullduggery from falling into the pressure-sensitive floor.
and then she thought
That was pretty
over
epic.
what it was, and then
Okay,
it was like, this trip
so
would be a different
chapter
one.
12
I'm locking myself when I reach
is
it.
about
This trip was a different
Stephanie and
one. I must ask
Skullduggery
favors while I'm
going
lying down. And the
to
last
like the
one was
vault,
this trip
breaking into the vault, and they see like
carry
this
nothing
rock.
and so much.
They see like this rock, and it's
Kind of gross. And then we
I
found
forget what
out
it's
that,
called, but it's for people that
he had
when they're close to death, they sleep with
and
it
then
for
she
three
thought about it and
3 days, and it gets all the memories in it for the family that when they're going through a tough time and they die. And Skullduggery puts his hand on it and it starts glowing. And this guy comes out.
Marcus had said he's like, so it meant that he just used time to saw himself die.
Okay, yeah.
It's useless to do it safe. I don't care. And that's
Okay,
why
he opened the puzzle box and he found the rock. And Skullduggery put his hand on the rock and it started glowing. And then this guy came out and he was like, let me answer your question. That's what I'm here for. And then
Why would you just call Skullduggery down? Why would you just call Skullduggery down? Like I kind of like.
Can we just keep going?
And then he's like, I'll answer all your questions. That's what I'm here for. And then Skullduggery's not a disguise, so you can see that he's a skeleton. And the guy's like, why are you a skeleton? And he's asking all these questions. And then Skullduggery's like, I don't mean to be rude, but aren't you the person that's supposed to be answering the questions, not asking them? And then he's like, well, I can be curious too. And then yeah, that's it. Yeah, he does. And then he goes back, and then they get into like this fight with the vampires. And Stephanie's running down like this long gallery thing. And she's like turning corners and stuff. And then she comes to a dead end, and then she's like, okay, I took the wrong corner, I'm lost. So then she goes back, and she turns, and she hears the vampire coming.
But it kind of makes sense.
And she's like, every mistake I make will cost me because the vampires are getting closer. And once the vampire gets to her, he's like, she's like an animal. And then he like swipes her with his.
But the suit that Ghastly made protects her.
This one thing that she like he jumps over top of her, or jumps at her, and she like slides underneath it.
Yeah, it's like the Matrix.
Yeah, she was being lost.
And then the vampire swipes him. Like he has long nails and a shirt. And then he hits the jacket, and then Stephanie's like, my back hurt. But if I didn't put that jacket, I would have been dead. So then Skullduggery comes and he like defends the vampire. Not yet. So Skullduggery comes and then he's like, Stephanie, which way I got this? And Stephanie goes, but the vampires follow. So then Stephanie gets out of the building onto the roof, but the vampire follows. So then she was like back and like trying to get away from the vampire, and then she fell off the building. And she hit every single branch. Well, she said she hit every single branch on the tree before she hit the ground.
It's kind of hard though, because like the branch on the other side of the tree, she'd have to be like.
Yeah. And then when she got down, she saw these two figures. And then they landed, and before she knew it, they were vampires. Before she knew it, they landed on her.
They landed next to her.
Yeah. And she was like, oh no, but it's the vampires. And then Skullduggery comes and takes away the vampires. The vampires like run away. And then Skullduggery's like, are you okay? And then she's like, yeah.
Recognize yourself?
So she didn't want like a big deal of it. And like,
So Mark
seriously, are you okay? I'm like,
in
yeah, I
like
just.
he was like 17 years old.
Did you fall that year?
Black man.
And she's like, yes, but then every branch on the tree broke my fall. And he's like, so are you okay? And then she's like, no, I'm not okay. Branches aren't pillows, like, come on.
Would have died.
And that was pretty funny.
So he went in the future.
Yeah.
Then we go back to the map.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so I did chapter 13.
Wait, no, my favorite part about that chapter
Like killed himself.
is when she fell down the tree, and then she's like, of course it hurt. I like that.
Okay, so I did chapter 13 and 14. So basically what happened at the first, she's, Skullduggery was like mad about her.
I'm gonna give it to you.
Oh, I have there. It's just my notes where I was reading it. So basically, she just tried to, like, can you teach me magic? I would have been more helpful, and he just kind of doesn't really respond. So then they go back to the manor where, because the guy that was like the person that was the hologram, where they sleep for 3 days, and you get their memories and stuff. So he told them that there's that like just kind of go where it's hidden, where the key is kind of hidden. So there's a little hidden room to go to the caves of where the key, where the scepter of the ancients would be. So they go to this little cellar room. And he finds the keyhole, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna, and so he's like, I will have to find the key for this. And then he's like, why don't you just, Stephanie's like, why don't you just smash through the door? And then he explains that usually that the lock is on the door, so you can't really do that. So then so then they go back to the house looking for the key, and these 5 random guys that are like supposedly made of these 5 random guys in paper suit, like they're like paper, they're made out of paper. And they no, it wasn't in the house, because I remember it saying in the house. Yeah, it said, yeah, they're not actually made out of paper. Whatever. Yeah, papery people. So then they kind of like, this one had a purple beam, and it like knocked out kind of like, it made Skullduggery really weak. Whatever. And then, they took him away. And then,
the big bad guy.
yeah. And then, so they're like, you 3 drag them out, and then you go upstairs and get the girl. So then Stephanie's hiding in the library, Gordon's library.
And then they killed her.
Yeah, and so he's like, he comes in, and then she like Matrix throws him out the window, and then they look up, and he just like shoots this purple thing, and then again, the glass, gasoline made her penetrate, like it doesn't penetrate it at all, so she's just
The
fine.
glass explodes a lot in this chapter.
So it's like called prop-proof and stuff. So then the guys just leave Stephanie, and she calls China to help. Now it's like she needs to talk to China, and then China's like, I'll get somebody to pick you up.
China is, she knows.
China's the really attractive girl that they met in the library.
So, and then Stephanie believes it's Serpine. They didn't say it was Serpine, but kind of later on it points that out. And then a girl named Tanith Lowe, which is, if you remember in chapter 9, Tanith Lowe was there, and she was the person that like killed the goblin. Yeah. That's kind of like that's she's like a whatever. So where was I? She has an English accent. She's pretty, blonde hair, that's tousled, and she's a vigilante. So then she looks whatever. Stephanie looks through books about magic, and she finds one about this, like your 3 names. There's like your given name, your chosen name, and whatever.
And she says it's very stupid book.
Yeah, so then she grabs one of elemental magic, that's what she wants to learn. And so then she tries like a magic on, like, she tries to lift her phone, she's like, and it doesn't work. So and then Tana's like, you should try a paperclip, and she's like, I don't have any paperclip, so try to lift this. And then she puts in a thing, and it's like paper, it's like, it's not working.
Okay, we'll see you
on
next part.